great. So first of all, I want to thank Manuel and the other people of ACIT for doing this with us. We're very excited to show you what EcoScore is about and introduce you to our initiative, and hopefully make some people want to join us. That would be ideal, of course. My name is Floriane, and I'm a member of Team European EcoScore, and there's 3 other members here as well today. There's Emily, Guillaume, and Antoine. Maybe wave so everyone can see you. There they are. So we're just going to explain to you what the initiative is, and we're going to tell you about European citizens initiatives in general. And then afterwards, there's going to be a discussion, and you can all join in to ask questions or make suggestions about the project. So if there's anything that's unclear or that you want to ask us about, then feel free to write it down and then ask us afterwards. So if this works, there should be, I'm trying to skip slides, but it's not reacting. So I'm just gonna try. Oh, yeah, this is all new to me. I'm not very technologically, okay. Yes, okay, so just to show you or to tell you about the basics of the initiative, the European EcoScore is something that we kind of invented, I guess, as a label. So what we see as it is a label that we put on products that are produced and sold within the European Union. And the label should indicate the environmental impact of each individual product that is sold, so that people can much more easily decide on, well, they can see the environmental impact of products and then decide what kind of products they want to buy and use to be more environmentally conscious. Right now, our initiative is existing out of more than 50 people from more than 10 different European countries, and we're still growing, so our project is expanding every day. So our project basically started with 7 Belgian students from different universities in the country and speaking different languages. And then we connected with different international people from within the European Union. That is now a team of different national teams that all work individually and are connected all together. So, and as I said, we are still growing, so we aim to have obviously more than 10 European countries and have national teams in each country within the European Union, but we're still getting there. So what is a European Citizens Initiative? It's basically an instrument of participatory democracy that the European Commission has created, in which anyone within the European Union can start an initiative and a project about something that they care about and something that they want to see change in within the European Union. And when they get enough support from other European citizens, they can then move that towards the European Commission, and they will have to debate about the project and come back to the organizers of the project to show what they decided upon it. So, and when these initiatives succeed, they get to attend, so the organizers get to attend the debate about the project that the Commission will hold. So far, there's been 6 initiatives that have succeeded. So that means that they have gained more than 1 million signatures supporting their project, and then the project has been debated about within the European Commission. There's a lot that goes into these initiatives, and there's a few criteria that are there to decide if it succeeds or not. So first of all, you need 1 million signatures supporting your project within 1 year of starting your campaign. And there is a minimum amount of signatures that vary per country. So you need signatures from at least seven different, if I'm not mistaken, 7 different countries within the European Union, and there have to be at least 7 people from 7 different countries that are official organizers of the project. But as for our project specifically, there are 26 official representatives. So this number can vary, but it's at least 7 people. And if you check off all those boxes, the Commission will consider and respond to your proposal, and there will hopefully be something done with your project. But from the moment you have all these signatures and the Commission accepts it, it's out of your hands, and you can only attend the debates and see what they do with it. But further on, it's the Commission that will decide what will happen with your project. And for these 1 million signatures, that's obviously a very large number. So you will need a lot of promotion, online presence, and media coverage, and a lot of networks to actually get to 1 million signatures. It seems like a lot, that number, 1 million, but I'm happy to say that this week there was actually a new European Citizens Initiative that has succeeded. It was an initiative called End the Cage Age, and it was for the abolishment of caging of animals within the animal production in the European Union. And so this initiative got not 1 million, but 1.4 million signatures supporting the project. And the European Commission has debated about it, and I think they decided that by 2027, all animals will be without cages within the animal production. So that's very good news, because it shows that even if it's challenging, it is possible to get this many signatures and actually have your project succeed. So there were a few things that motivated us to start this specific initiative. Most of all, we all felt that in these last few years, with all the protests in the streets that were related to climate change, we wanted to do something that went beyond the protesting and actually had some action in it. So we wanted to take matters in our own hands and find a way to make a change ourselves. And when we heard about this initiative, it was perfect, because even though we didn't have any political background or any connections within European policy, we could still make a change just by being European citizens and by uniting everyone together. So, and the reason we specifically chose consumption to change something within is because we encounter that daily, and because we as citizens all have to buy products every day, and we all make choices of which products we buy every day. And it would make a big change if we could all much more easily decide which products we buy that are more environmentally conscious. And the aim with this project is definitely not to moralize people about what to buy and what not to buy. It's more to empower consumers to get the information that they need to then make decisions for themselves about what they find important in their products. Then more specifically about European EcoScore, what we visualize with it is a label that will be put on products, as I said, and it's like you can see on the slide, it will be a spectrum of letters A to F, which will also be indicated by colors. And this spectrum will show how big the impact of each individual product is on the environment. So this label will be visible on each product, and there will be a different letter indicated every time. So for example, when you go to the store and you see, for example, apples that were produced in your own country in a sustainable way, those apples will have a good EcoScore because its impact will be much lower. So it will be an A, for example. And then if you compare that to, for example, an avocado that was produced in the South of America, and that was packaged in plastic and transported over to your country, it will be a much more negative eco-score, because the impact of this product is much bigger, considering the plastic, the transportation, the way it was produced. So this way people will much more easily see the impact of their products, and hopefully will be able to choose more wisely about what they buy and what they don't want to buy. It's important for us that it's a transparent label so that people can easily see the calculations that are behind it, and that everyone gets all the information they need to buy what they want. And so the reason finally why we chose a European approach instead of maybe a national approach is because we think that when it comes to consuming, there is a lot more we can do when we have a unified label over the entire European Union, instead of having all these tiny labels like we have now. Because when we look at products now in the stores, there's several different labels of which most people have no clue what they mean. So they don't really have the desired effect because nobody is going to look at them. Whereas when we have a more unified label that is the same in all of Europe, the change we can make will be much more meaningful, and it will be on a much bigger scale. So that's the purpose of having this European approach. The question that we get most often, and that we also pose ourselves a lot, and that we have thought a lot about, is how will the label be calculated? Because as we know, there are a lot of factors that go into what the impact is of a certain product on the environment. There's transportation, there's packaging, there's recycling of that packaging, and then there's the production in which you use water or maybe products that are damaging to the environment. So there's a lot that goes into it. And we want to remind everyone that our task is to propose this initiative and to propose the concept of a European EcoScore. And once that is accepted by the Commission, it's actually their task to see how they are going to implement it concretely. So that means that we don't actually need to decide, and we are not allowed to decide on how it will be calculated. But luckily, the European Commission has already a lot of experts that know how to deal with this stuff and that are constantly working on things like this. So they definitely have the means to make these calculations. But still, we do have some suggestions on how to do it, because there's been several examples before us that separately have made these eco scores that are kind of similar. There's, for example, the life cycle assessment method that was actually developed by the European Commission for over 10 years. And they, I'll link the information about this life cycle assessment method afterwards, but it's basically, it indicates the impact of a product from the start of its production all the way to the end of its use, so its entire life cycle. And that could be very helpful for the calculation of European EcoScore. And then there's also a possibility of finding inspiration from private initiatives, like the supermarket that we have called Colruyt. They actually introduced their own EcoScore independently that they now put on all their products. And it's the same concept as our European EcoScore, but the thing that we want to do is we want to expand it over all of Europe. But so there's a lot of examples and a lot of projects that came before us that we can use to make this European EcoScore. So as I said, 1 million signatures is a very big number, and we're well aware of that. But we have already established many ways in which we want to reach this number. For example, we have contacted a lot of academic institutions, like universities, for example, for their expertise, their knowledge, but also for their student platforms, and to find anyone that can help with the project. So that has been very useful. And then we are also going to organize events in cities all over the European Union to collect more signatures, like physically. And then there's, on the other side, our online presence, which might be the most important aspect of this whole project, because it's online that we were all connected in the first place. And especially during these times where we're not very mobilized, this online connection is very important. So we make videos, we are working on our social media presence on a website, online events like this one, for example. So that's been a big aspect. And then every single national team is also working on its own promotion and its own projects within their own countries. And then there's also going to festivals and other events that are already existing to just talk to people, get them to join or get them to sign, and get more signatures that way. And then finally, an important aspect is also getting sponsors for our project, because for all this promotion and online campaign, there's a big cost that comes with that. And so it's important for us to find sponsors that align with our own ideals of environmental causes and about climate, and then finding a way to connect with them so they can support us and we can give them something in return. So to show you, or to give you an idea of where we stand at this point in the project, I made a little timeline for you to see. So we started way back in February with the basics of the project and thinking out what we wanted to do, how we wanted to go about it. And then in May this year, we submitted the initiative to the European Commission. And then not too long ago, on June 30th, the Commission officially registered our initiative, which means that it's now an official European Citizens Initiative, and we can start collecting signatures on the 25th of July. So that's this month. And then there's going to be an entire year of campaigning, of promotion, of events, both physically and online, all with the purpose to collect more signatures. And then once the year is over, by July 25th of 2022, we will hopefully have at least 1 million signatures, and then it will be up to the European Commission to decide what they're going to do with our proposal. So if this project interests you, and if you want to know more, and if you want to support us or join us, you're more than welcome to. We are constantly trying to grow within the different countries, within the national teams, and you're more than welcome to join in your own national team or create your own national team if it's not yet existing. And then there's also 2 specific roles that we're looking for, which is a website designer, which is very important once we start collecting signatures, to have an appealing website that people can easily access and can easily sign the project in. And then we also are looking for a video content creator that can join us on our promotional bike tour throughout different countries in Europe. That's this summer, and that can make promotional videos out of the activities that we do on this tour. So if you're interested in joining us or in taking any of these roles on you, then feel free to contact us after. So these are our social media. If you want to follow us, you can look these up and share our posts. That's also just a big help if you can just share our posts with your friends and stuff. And yeah, if you have questions or suggestions, ask away, I'd say. And I don't know if my other team members have anything to add, but if they don't, then I would say, let the discussion begin.